U-turn at Belvedere Lane. Your destination is on the left.
All right, I'm ready. Woo, freezer pops for everyone. Whoop, 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 woo. Pictures. She's faded. Oops, sorry, American flag.
If we're going to stay on plan, we need to shut the door to this one and go get the other one.
All right.
So we have this stuff at the tail of the trailer.
Pots and pans, clothing, toiletries. There's some stuff, some games. Can I just see what's in the freezer pop boxes? I'm dying to know if they're freezer pops or not. Ooh, look at this.
Books. Yes, books. They're very heavy. That's pretty cool.
Some game shirts.
That is books.
They're all books?
Yeah, well, I've got to assume they are. Well, let's see. This might not. This is toiletries.
All toiletries.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Got it good enough?
Yep, that's good enough.
Not freezer pops.
All right, they're not freezer pops. All right, we'll be back here.
Okay.
We'll be back to see what we got. Okay, let's close it up. So this is our second unit in this facility. The first one I only paid $10 for. No, the first one I paid a few $100s for. This one I paid $10 for. We don't know what's in it. I have no idea. We're gonna open it up. We're gonna unlock it. We're gonna unlock it. And then we're gonna open it.
This is what you get for $10.
This is what you get for $10.
Yee.
Wow, this is really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous. And so is this desk.
Yep.
Wow, look at this stuff. It's really nice. So this looks like a, what is this?
That's a memory foam mattress. It probably will weigh.
Guys, I'm unwrapping this thing here. Brad is loading the truck and it's wrapped and wrapped again. Here, you unwrap it, I'm afraid. And it's wrapped again. It had so many and another wrapping. What do you think is in it? I'm afraid. What do you think it is?
It's wrapped again.
No, it's not. Be careful touching it.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
What is it?
Glasses!
No way, why?
They're worried about my thing.
Why would they wrap a pair of glasses like that? And you know what? They're not even designer glasses. They're just, yeah, they're like drugstore glasses. So weird.
I'm giving up trying to figure out the story.
So weird. All right, you guys, so here's the truck, the trailer. It's packed. We still have a couple more loads left to do, and then we're gonna sort it all. Or I'm gonna sort it all. This is all coming back to the cottage, and I have to go through all of it. I have no idea what's in any of these bins, but we're not looking at it. We're not looking at it now. I'll probably do an unboxing for you guys back at the cottage. Cables and I don't know, just lots of stuff. Lots and lots of stuff. More cosmetics than I've ever seen in my life. If this woman if she didn't buy so many cosmetic and paid her storage unit bill, then she probably would still have stuff. Here's some pictures. Here's a beautiful picture of the Last Supper that I just broke, unfortunately. All right, I'm gonna get back to work before Brad gets mad at me because I'm videotaping and he's doing all the work. In the elevator with heading up for the last and final load. Carts are empty. And we're gonna go, and it's hot today. How hot would you say it is?
Probably 80s.
in the 80s, but it's hot. It's an air-controlled building, but it's only like 78 degrees in here. It's really, really hot. So we're almost done, but we still have to unboat it, so we're really not almost done. And we've been at it for 4 hours now, so we're gonna be one at a time. Stay tuned. I've got some really interesting information to share with you. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so I am with my friend Brad, and we were just talking. We just left a facility, and the woman was telling me about some sort of scam going on now, which I don't know anything about, and I just happened to mention it to Brad, and Brad knows all about it. He knows all about the scam. So tell us about the scam that you were just telling me about.
Well, now we're talking about two different things. We're talking about, and most of the storage auction buyers that you deal with probably already know this, but these are rental properties, and they have certain state laws and guidelines that they have to go by. There's a statute, now forgive me, I can't remember the number of the statute. There's a statute in the Florida books that gives storage renters certain protections. And one of those protections is if you lose a room to auction and it auctions off for more than you owe on the room, any money after the debt is paid is yours, the tenant's money. So let's say you had a room that had a Harley Davidson in it, and it went up for auction and it auctioned off for $12,000 and you owed $450 on the room. Well, you would get the difference between the $450 and the $12,000 sale price in your pocket. So you do walk away with some money. If you ever worry that these people that lose these really nice rooms get nothing, if they can be found, and sometimes they can't be found, they will get that money back. Now, I'll give you a couple of quick stories that I'm aware of. When I first became aware of this was when auctions were live, and I was down in Miami, and an irate storage buyer came in complaining. He had bought a room full of boxes, and he got in there and the boxes were empty except for a little bit of just basic construction trash. He got all the way back to the back of the room and he found a half-empty bottle of vodka. That was the only thing that was in the room. So he came up and complained to the auctioneer who was still there and the manager, and they gave him his money back. They recognized that somebody had done a scam where they had loaded the room up and made it look like a full room and let it go to auction. Any of you who have ever seen the $1 specials that these places offer, where you get the first month for $1, you can go in and rent a storage room for $1 plus tax plus some fees, but you're going to pay about $50. So imagine you rent that room, you load it up with empty boxes, and then you let it go to auction. And if it auctions for more than your fees, you're going to get a little paycheck out of it. Now, of course, it's a scam and it's unethical. And if it's done sloppily, then the manager will usually refund the bidder his money. So that's one story I can tell you. Now, another one was one I was personally involved in a number of years back. This was an online auction. I have a weakness for rooms with guitar cases in it, and this room had a stack of guitar cases in it. And I ended up bidding a little over $5,000 to get the room. Long story short, I made a little money on the room, but the guitar cases all had damaged and broken project guitars in them. There was only one decent guitar in there, but it had other stuff in it, and I made some money. But I paid $5,000 and change for the room, and the manager later told me that was an overage of about $4,200 for the person who had lost the room. Now, this person was European and had been religiously paying on this rooms until one day it stopped, and they couldn't get in touch with him. So the assumption was he had gone back overseas and for one reason or another didn't choose to or couldn't come back. So they had $4,200 for him that they could not find. They could not find the gentleman to give him his money. So I don't know how long the facility has to hold the money. I'm sure at some point it reverts back to them. But they have to make every good faith effort to make sure that that money is paid back. So those of you who've done storage rooms know that the storage room has to be listed online, has to be listed in a public place, and it has to be listed with X number of time. It used to be a couple of months. Now it's down to about a month. They have to list it for at least a week or 2 weeks in a public notification, some type of newspaper. And the backside of that is if the room does go to auction and it sells for more than the tenant owed, that tenant is rightfully due their money. And that's as it should be, because you really don't want storage facilities doing this for a profit. So that's kind of what I've got to say on the situation, Donna.
Well, she said that she thought that the storage unit with the nice furniture, with the sofa and the desk and the topper there, she said she thought that was going to be a scam one. That's why she went into it and started telling me about the scam that was going in, because they rented that unit, paid on it 1 month, and then disappeared.
Which is not that uncommon.
Their phone was disconnected. They're not answering their emails, and she was really surprised because she said that that locker had some decent furniture in it, and it did. That desk is beautiful, and the sofa's nice, and so she that's why she started talking about it, because she thought it was going to be one of those scam things.
Well, I can tell you that because I do buy a lot of furniture rooms, that's a story I hear commonly. Is a young person or young couple comes in, they rent the room, and I think they have big plans, but usually they're young and life gets in the way, something happens, they take a job in another state, it could be a bad thing, but for whatever reason they pay 1, maybe 2 months, and then they just disappear. And it's unfortunate, but stuff is stuff, and I've kind of come to terms with that. Life goes on, and if this is somebody who's very young, I lost some stuff due to dumb decisions when I was young, and at the end of the day, I recovered from it without a big problem. We always try to make sure to return personal items that have emotional value, but not financial value, like pictures and passports and wedding dresses and that kind of thing. Most storage bidders will make every effort to return those if the buyer's available to take them. But a lot of times people have just moved on. They just don't. It's not a big issue for them, and they've gone on with life.
No, and they just don't want it. And she was telling me that, I said to her, I had said to the girl, people don't realize that when you default on a storage unit, it shows up on your credit report as an eviction. An eviction on your credit report may as well be as bad as a foreclosure. An eviction stays on your credit report for a very long time. So when people rent storage units, they have to give their social security number. They do a background check. They do a credit check. And so when they default on these units, they don't understand. I mean, yes, you can get it taken off your credit report if you pay it. But if it goes to auction, I don't think there's any way to get it off your credit report. I don't know, how do you settle that debt? I really don't know, but having an eviction is really, really bad, you guys. You can't buy a house with an eviction on your credit report. It's impossible to get a mortgage.
I'll throw this in there as the flip side of that same scenario. To your point, if you lose a storage room and it sells for less than you owe, and how many of us have bought $10 rooms like you did, and I've bought rooms for $20 and $30 where they owe a few $100s, they're still liable for that debt. That debt still has to be paid, and it will go against their credit if they don't pay it. If it's satisfied with the sale, I think it's a wash. But if it's not, then they still have to pay that. So nuances of the storage auction trade.
I think that a lot of young people don't realize don't realize it. Like that one unit that we got today, that was, no, I ended up paying $130 for it. It had a mattress, it had a couple of totes in it. I haven't even looked through them really, and a tall dresser. That was definitely a TV. That was definitely a young kid, girl. It was a girl because it's girl stuff. She probably rented a room somewhere, and you know, I don't know what happened to her. She bought all new stuff, put it in a storage unit, and let it go to foreclosure and disappeared. She's gone.
Sometimes you see evidence of drug use or alcohol use.
Always.
Sometimes you see evidence that somebody's been in jail and they may have gone back to jail.
Always.
Another one that's been a little bit common here, not so much here recently, but in the last administration, was you saw people get deported,
Deployed.
or left the country and couldn't get back in the country. Maybe they felt like it would not be a problem for them to get back in, but they had trouble getting back in the country. And a lot of people who were residents or alien who had come over here, maybe overstayed a visa or something, went home and couldn't get back.
Yeah.
So you still see that happening sometimes as well.
All right, you guys. So look at this. This is what we're sitting in. Traffic, traffic, traffic. Lots of traffic. We're not even moving, 15 miles an hour. What time did we start our day? 12:30.
A little after, about 12:30.
12:30 you came over, and it is now 4:44. So we just put in how many hours?
4 hours of hard labor.
4 hours of hard labor.
It's a tough life.
It's a tough life. It is. 4 hours
we're
of
not
hard
done.
labor.
We're not
Oh
done.
God, no. We're not even close to being done. We still have to unload. We're not going to unload. Unloading today. We're probably going to unload tomorrow. So this will be it. It's our nap time.
Yes.
Time to go take a nap. Well, not together, separately. Don't want to give anybody the wrong idea. Separate homes. But definitely nap time. That we're on board about. Okay, you guys, be sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching. And give the video a thumbs up and let me know down below in the comments what you think about people that default on their storage units. Okay, bye.